Okay, so let's review what goes into a fairy tale. What does every fairy tale have to have? Hadley, give me one thing that's in a fairy tale.
Once upon a time beginning.
Yeah, a once upon a time beginning. Do you guys notice that Hadley used what was up on the board to help her answer? Make sure you're paying attention. Everybody knows an answer. Jonah, what's another thing?
A magical character.
Magical characters. What's another thing, Nevaeh? A happily ever after ending, Landon.
Magical events.
Magical events, and there's one more thing that most fairy tales have. Hasn't been said yet. Connor. Call on a friend. Make sure you're paying attention. Call on a friend to help you.
Hadley. Royal family.
Royal family. So let's talk about the stories that we learned so far. So we learned about the fisherman and his wife. Who were the royal family, or who were the royal characters in the fisherman and his wife? Lizzie?
The queen and the fish.
The queen and the fish. What was the fish actually? Was he really just a normal flounder? What was he actually? Weston, what was he?
He was a prince.
Yeah, and what had happened to him? Use that vocabulary where it starts with the sound N. He was in what? Somebody help him. What was he? Clayton?
Enchanted.
He was enchanted. Okay. He was our magical character, right? We just said that because we said he was enchanted. What were our magical events? What magical things happened in the story, Kenley?
When she wished for something.
Yeah, she would wish for things and they would come true. And did it have a once upon a time beginning? Yeah. Yeah. Did it have a happily ever after ending? Maybe. Could we really tell from the story if it ended happily? Okay, what about the royal family from the Emperor's New Clothes? Who was the royal family? Alice? Who were the royal character in the Emperor's New Clothes? The Emperor was one. Who was that other guy, Layla? He helped the Emperor. Do you remember what he was called? It's up here. The Prime Minister. I know you're so excited because you remembered. But the Prime Minister. Did we actually have magical characters? I mean, who did we say could be considered magical characters? Who are these two people? Jonah? The Splendors? What were they called? Call in a friend to tell you what those people were called. And get out your desk or I'm going to start giving you blur chips. Call in a friend.
Connor. Splendors.
Not Slenders. What were they? What were they?
Swindlers.
What were they, Noah?
Swindlers.
Swindlers. And what does that mean? What's a swindler? Clayton?
It's someone who tricks them.
Yeah, it's someone who's tricking people. So, were they actually magical?
No.
No, and we can tell from their name. What were they doing?
I'm swindling.
Swindling. They were swindling. Okay, and did we actually have magical events? No, but we pretended to, right?
Yeah, the clothing.
Did it have a once upon a time beginning? Yeah, I said many years ago. It's the same thing. Did it have a happily ever after ending on this one?
No.
No, because what happened to that emperor at the end? What happened to the emperor at the end, Renzo? Yep, can you say it louder?
He only had underwear.
Yeah, he only had on his underwear, and what were the villagers doing? What were they all doing, Lizzie? Laughing at him. So is that a very happy ending?
No.
No, I mean, maybe for the villagers because they were laughing, they were kind of happy, but was he probably very happy?
No.
No.
He was like blushing all the way to his toes.
Someone tell me, is a fairy tale real life?
No.
No. What is that word? Does anybody word for what we call fairy tales? It starts with an F. Landon, do you think you know?
Fiction.
Oh, it's not fiction. Kinley, do you think you know? No, it is. Fiction would describe a fairy tale, yes, but it's a different F word that we've been discussing. Starts fan. Lorenzo?
Fantasy.
Fantasy. So it's fantasy. So can this stuff really happen?
No.
No. And then we can also say that it's fiction. But it's important to know that this is just fantasy. Can somebody read the title of today's story?
Yes.
Somebody read me that title. Kinley? Beauty and the Beast. So today, we're going to start Beauty and the Beast. Now, Beauty and the Beast is a long story. Did you guys know that Beauty and the Beast was actually written in France? How many of you have seen Beauty and the Beast? Raise your hand if you've seen the movie Beauty and the Beast, either the cartoon or the real one.
The real one, the cartoon.
So most of us have at least seen something. Oh, now, whenever that movie's going on, do we notice that they say words sometimes that aren't in English? In the morning, what do they all say to each other when they first see each other?
Hello.
No, they don't say
Hola.
bonjour. Or they don't say hello. It starts with a B.
Hola.
Bonjour. Do you guys know that that's French?
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys remember when we were learning about the globe? When we were singing our song? Do you guys remember what continent did we learn about on Friday? Oh, yeah. What continent did we learn about on Friday? Does anybody remember, Hadley? Europe. Did you guys know France is in Europe? Now, we learned about one important feature in France, actually, on Friday. It's really tall. People like to go visit it. It's a tower. The Eiffel Tower. That's in France. So that kind of gives you an idea of the setting. And the type of people, it's those same people we learned about on Friday. So that is our setting of where Beauty and the Beast takes place. Now, I want you to turn and tell a partner. Who were some animals? What were some animals that we remember from the video? Turn and tell a partner. What were some animals from Europe? Okay. Class.
Yes.
I heard a lot of people saying wolves. And since no one's sitting in front of me, I'm going to take my mask down. I heard a lot of people saying wolves. Does anybody remember from the movies what's going to happen in our story with wolves? Anybody remember? Something important. I just want you guys to keep that in mind. We're about to do a picture walk. A picture walk. Somebody remind me, what in the world is a picture walk? What's a picture walk, Kinley? And what does it do for us, though? Like, why would we think to do that, Connor?
We would just look through the pictures so we would know what it would be about.
So we're going to make, do you remember what we call that? When we're looking to guess what it's going to be about, it's called making a, not a guess, but it is a type of guess. Clayton, you remember? Prediction. We're about to make some predictions about what's going to happen. Are you ready? All right. I got to tell you guys, that is the merchant of our story. He's a merchant, okay? And he's wearing gray, okay? Or, well, he's got on kind of black, it looks like. So, he's got his oldest daughter. She's wearing gray. He's got his second oldest daughter. She's wearing green. And then that one wearing the maroon colored dress. Can anybody guess who that is? Alice? Belle, right? And in our story, we're just going to refer to her as Beauty, apparently. Okay? I don't know if it'll call her Belle, but yes. All right. So, a merchant is leaving for the city, and that's the girl's father. And he asked his daughter, what do you want from the city? Okay? One daughter's going to ask for a gown, and one's going to ask if they could have a diamond necklace, but the other one just wants a rose. Can we guess which one wants the gown? Guess which one might want a gown from the picture. Look at the picture. Who might want the gown? Layla? The one wearing the gray dress, so the older daughter. That's a really good prediction. Why do you think that, Layla? Because it's gray, but what can the picture also show us that might mean that she's asking for a dress? What does the picture also show us that might mean that, Lizzie?
Because she's the older sister, and I guess she just wants a dress. So.
Well, what does the picture show, though, that might make us think she's asking for a dress?
Can I come over?
Clayton? Yes, but you need to go by... Nevaeh, you guys need to put your masks on now.
She's pulling up her dress. Wait, why?
Well, if you sit at the back table, Lizzie, you don't need to. If you sit at the back table. She's
dress.
pulling at her dress. She's holding a dress. So she's probably the one asking for a dress, right? Okay, now, the next picture. What's the weather like in this picture? What is happening in this picture? Jonah, grab a blurt chip. Come up here and grab a blurt chip. What's the weather like in this picture, Renzo? No, you can see from your spot. I need to tell me what the weather is like. Yeah.
Windy and snowy.
Windy and snowy. This is a blizzard. Okay, it's a very big snowstorm, and it's dangerous for this merchant to be outdoors, right? All right. Who is the... Hold on, it's being slow again. Hopefully it'll switch. Who is the new character in this picture? Who's the new character, Nevaeh?
The beast.
The Beast, okay. Look at the faces on both of these characters. Somebody describe, what's the Beast's face? How would we describe him? Landon, how would we describe the Beast based on his face? Maybe he's angry. And how would we describe the merchant, Weston? Look at his face. You think he's sad? Any other ideas of how he might be feeling? Seeing that big beast mad at him? Clayton?
He looks like he's like sad.
Sad. Somebody already said sad, but yes. Okay. Now, in the beginning of this fairy tale, we're going to meet a merchant and his 3 daughters. I want you guys to say the word merchant with me 3 times. Merchant, merchant, merchant. A merchant is someone whose job is to buy and sell things. Okay? So the merchant went to a faraway land to find new and interesting things to sell. The merchant sold his goods at a market. Okay? What do you guys think the merchant in our story is going to sell? What do you think he might go to sell, Connor? You think he might be selling food? Any other ideas of what he might be selling at the market? Hadley, what do you think he might be selling? What do you think? Just an idea. What are some things people sell other than food? Toys. Maybe he's selling toys. Okay, so everybody grab your vocabulary sheet. Grab your vocabulary sheet. And we are going to go through our definitions of our new vocabulary words. So our first one up there says merchant. Someone who buys and sells goods. I want you to follow along with me while I read this sentence. The merchant had his own market to sell his goods. So a merchant does what, Landon? Sells and buys. Good job. Okay, our next word is the word fortune. Fortune means great wealth or riches. Remember we talked about the other day what rich means? So fortune means you have great wealth or riches. Follow along with the sentence. Part of the king's fortune included castles, jewels, and very fine horses. What is fortune, Alice? Fine things. Yeah, fine things. Riches. Yep. Fearsome. Fearsome means causing fear or very frightening. Follow along with the sentence. The tiger is one of the most fearsome animals in the jungle. Kinley, what's fearsome mean? Scared? let me read it again. Let me read that definition again. Fearsome means causing fear or very frightening. So, does that mean that you're scared? If you're fearsome? If I said that tiger is very fearsome, do I mean that that tiger is scared? No, what do I mean? What do I mean? That tiger is very fearsome. What? Strong, okay? So he's very strong, maybe, and that could be very what to us? How would you feel? Scary. So the tiger would make us scared. So fearsome does not mean that you're scared, right? It means you're scary. You're fearsome. You're full of causing fear to other people. Who in our story do we think might be the one that's described as fearsome? Landon? Maybe the beast. Okay, so we're going to pause right there because in today's tale you'll hear the merchant turn around and saw a fearsome creature who was half man and half beast. Say the word fearsome with me 3 times. Fearsome, fearsome, fearsome. Something that is fearsome makes people very frightened and scared of it. The tiger is one of the most fearsome animals in the jungle. Tell your partner 2 things that you think are fearsome. Class.
Yes.
Layla, give me one thing you thought was fearsome. Give me the thing your partner thought was fearsome. A what? You gotta be loud. I can't hear you. A wolf and a panda.
No,
Yeah,
not
honestly,
panda.
a panda. Oh, yes, a panda is a fearsome animal. We think of them as cute and cuddly, but they are a type of bear. And if that is something that is fearsome to someone, yes, a bear is fearsome. Let's see, who else could tell me something they or their partner? Nevaeh?
A fox.
A fox could be fearsome, yeah. If you're alone out in the woods and you see a fox, they're kind of like a little type of dog. They're wild. That could be very fearsome. Okay, hands down. We've all got something fearsome that we thought about now. Okay, find the word astonished in your vocab packet. And that's the last vocab word we're going to talk about before we get into our story. Find the word astonished. Nevaeh, flip it back around. Don't flip the page, just flip it over. Don't flip the page, just flip it over. Yep, there you go. Okay, follow along with me. Astonished means feeling or showing great surprise or amazement. Follow along with the example sentence. Point to each word. Trent's baseball team was astonished by their big victory. Show me an astonished face. Some of us, our face didn't change. Is that how you look when you're astonished? I don't know. I might even fall out of my chair if I'm like super astonished. Okay. All right. I need you guys to pay close attention because we're about to do our read aloud. Okay, Lizzie, do you need to move to C? You need to move to C. Okay, you can go back to move to C. Nope, you don't need to move to C. You can see from back there. Okay. All right. Once upon a time, in a faraway country, there lived a merchant with his 3 daughters. The merchant was very rich. Indeed, he had more money than he needed, until a lot of hard things happened. First, the merchant lost 2 of his biggest ships full of cargo, or goods he was going to sell, in a great storm at sea. Then, he was forced to give up his lavish, which means very expensive and fancy, home in the city because he could no longer afford to pay for it. The merchant lost his fortune and was left with nothing. He told his daughters that they would have to move to a little cottage in the woods far from town and work hard and live simply. I want you guys to tell me, let's look at this picture. Everybody look at the picture. Do you guys think this picture is of their lavish home or of their simple cottage?
Simple.
What do we think, guys? Lavish home, raise your hand. Is it lavish home? Raise your hand if you think it's the simple cottage. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Do you think it would be difficult for someone to be rich and then to go to having no money and not being rich anymore? What do we think? What do we think? Would it be hard?
Yeah.
Yes or no? Would you think it'd be hard to have all this money and then not have any money?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you guys think that would make you feel? Show me on your face. How would you feel if you lost all your money and your family had no money? Yeah, we'd probably be sad. I like the sad faces I'm seeing. Yeah, we'd probably be pretty sad. The two older daughters complained bitterly, for they had grown accustomed to, which means very used to the idea, a life of a luxury. The older daughters had a hard time living their new life in the cottage, but the youngest daughter, who was called Beauty, always tried to make the best of things. Several months later, the merchant heard that one of his ships, which he thought had been lost at sea, had in fact landed with a cargo of valuable goods to sell. Question for you guys. Would finding his lost ship be misfortune or fortune? What do we think? We haven't really talked a whole lot about misfortune yet. But what do we think? Would it be fortunate to find your ship, or would it be misfortunate to find your ship? If you think it would be fortunate, raise your hand. Would it bring you fortune to find your ship? Hands down. If you think it would be misfortunate, raise your hand. You think it'd be misfortunate? Well, why do you think it'd be misfortunate? What are you thinking? Would it be a good thing or a bad thing to find your lost ship? A good thing. So do you think it'd be misfortunate, which we're going to talk about? The beginning of that word miss means not, and we just learned that fortune means wealth and riches. So do you think it'd be not wealth and riches, or do you think it would be wealth and riches to find your ship? Yeah, so that'd be fortunate, okay? And we'll talk about that word more later, okay? All right. As the merchant prepared to make the long trip to the city to get back, his goods, he asked his daughters what he might bring them when he returned. The eldest daughter asked for a fancy gown. Was our prediction right? Mm-hmm. The second daughter asked for a diamond necklace. Why might we think, based on this picture, she's asking for a necklace? What is this telling us? What's she doing, Kenley? Yeah, she's touching her neck. Beauty had plenty of things she wished for, but none that her father's money could buy. What are some things that money can't buy? Lizzie?
A bigger house.
Money can buy that. Renzo?
It can't buy a $1,000 game set.
Yeah, it can. Money can buy that. That costs money. Landon?
A person?
A person? Well, I see where you're going, because we can't buy the people, right? Because that's illegal. Yeah, that's illegal, so that is a good idea. Let's think about some things that we could never buy with money. Because, at one time, okay, it's saying it's still airplane, so let me try again. At one time, people did, sadly, used to buy people, and we will learn about that. That's called slavery. So, at one time, people could do that. But what is something money could never buy? Layla? Okay, guys, I do not know what's wrong with my... Let's see.
I know what
I
money
know. What can't money buy? Marissa, what can't money buy?
It can't buy love.
It can't buy love. Yeah, that's excellent. It can't buy love. Now that she said that, does that give us some other ideas of what money can't buy? Jonah? Okay, I want one more idea. Don't raise your hand if you don't have one. Connor?
The moon.
Yep, money can't buy the moon. So I would say that in this story, what do we think she's probably talking about? Is she talking about buying the moon?
No.
What do we think she might want that money can't buy, Layla? Maybe love. That's a good one. So Beauty replied, to be polite, please bring me a rose, for I have not seen one since we came here, and I love them so much. When the merchant finally reached his ship, he found that most of his goods had been stolen. He sold what remained and made just enough money to buy a dress for his eldest daughter and a necklace for his second daughter. Then he set off for home. Did he forget something?
No.
Yeah.
What is he forgetting? What is he forgetting, Marissa?
His daughters, maybe?
No, his daughters are at home. What's he forgetting? Renzo, sit down. What's he forgetting? Weston.
The rose.
The rose for Beauty. All right. Let's see if it's going to switch. Okay. On the way home, snow began to fall. It covered the road and made it hard to see. The wind blew so hard it almost knocked the merchant off his horse. He was worried that he might get lost in the blizzard, which is, does anyone remember what a blizzard is from the beginning, Alice? A really big snowstorm. The merchant decided that he should stop at the next house he came to and wait there until the storm passed. Eventually, he came upon a large palace with lights blazing. He knocked, but no one answered. He found that the door was unlocked, so he opened it and peered in. "Hello," he called out, but there was no answer. He stepped into the foyer, which is a front hall, and he brushed the snow off his coat. Curious, yet hesitant. Ooh, what's that word hesitant mean? That was one of our vocabulary words from the beginning. What was hesitant? Jonah?
Thought about something?
Yeah, you had to think about it, right? Because were you ready to just do it? No, right? You had to stop and think about it. Okay, so he was curious, yet hesitant. The merchant slowly made his way into a large dining hall. To his surprise, a fire was burning in the fireplace, and a little table had been set with a sumptuous meal, just right for one person. What do you think the word scrumptious means? What might the word scrumptious mean? Only one person thinks they might know what scrumptious means. Look at that food. What might scrumptious mean? Marissa?
It looks good.
Really? Good. Hello, he called again. Is anybody here? Again, there was no answer. The merchant inspected the food. Is someone eating this food? He asked. Would you mind if I had a few bites? I've been riding in a bitter snowstorm and, he continued. There was no reply. The merchant decided that he would have a few bites of food and then look for his gracious host. Would you guys have eaten some of that food?
No.
Why?
Because it could have been
Because it could be poisonous. We don't know what's in that food. After he had eaten, he set off to find the owner of the house to thank him. He wandered through the rooms on the ground floor, but neither master nor servant appeared. At last, he stepped outside into a beautiful garden. So let's talk. Which characters have we met so far in the story? Clayton?
The Beauty.
Beauty's one of the characters. Who's another one we met? We met Beauty. We met who else? Hadley, give me another character. The two sisters. We have the elder sister. We have the second sister. We have Beauty. And there's one more character we've met so far. Who is he, Renzo? What's he called? A what, Weston? Starts with an M. Kinley? He's a merchant, okay? Why is the merchant inside the palace? Why did he go inside the palace, Lizzie?
because he was probably cold and he was probably hungry too.
And it's probably cold. Yeah. Okay, what do you think he's going to do in the garden? Based on what we looked at on our picture walk, what's he going to do, Alice? You think he's going to pick a rose? And who do you think he's going to meet while he's out there? Hadley? The Beast, okay. The merchant was astonished and amazed to discover that the garden was in full bloom, even though it was the middle of winter and most of the countryside was covered in a thick blanket of snow. In the garden, birds chirped, flowers bloomed, the air was sweet and balmy, warm and calm. Okay. The man explored the garden. Oh, wait, sorry. Wait, I wasn't supposed to switch it yet. The man explored the garden until he came upon a row of beautiful rose bushes. He remembered that Beauty had asked him to bring her a rose. He reached out to pluck a rose, but just as the stem broke, he heard a loud roar behind him. "Who told you that you might gather roses in my garden?" said a low, gruff voice. Who do you guys think said that? Nevaeh? The beast, yeah. Do you guys think it's strange that the trees in garden don't have any snow and that they're growing and it's warm there? What do you guys think? Layla? Is that normal? No, what's that probably? Clayton? It's probably enchanted. Okay, the startled merchant turned around and saw a fearsome creature who was half man and half beast. Close your eyes and picture in your brain the most scary half man, half beast creature that you can imagine. Go ahead and open your eyes. "What?" said the beast. "Is it not enough that I have given you dinner and a place to wait out the storm? You must also steal my roses?" "Please forgive me," said the merchant, falling to his knees. "I tried to find you to thank you for the meal. I'll pay for it if you like. As for the rose, I only wanted it for my youngest daughter, Beauty. Her only wish when I left was that I return with a rose for her. Your gardens are so magnificent, I did not think you would miss a single rose." "You are very ready with excuses and flattery and kind words," Beast said, "but that will not save you from the punishment you deserve. Tell your partner, what kind of punishment do you think that's going to be?" Lizzie, talk with Marissa. Marissa, talk to Lizzie. Okay, class.
Yes, yes.
"Oh, forgive me," said the merchant. "If not for my sake, then for the sake of my daughters. If I do not return home, there will be no one to support and take care of them." There was a long pause. Then the beast spoke again. "I will forgive you," he said, "on one condition. You must send one of your daughters to live with me. Go and see if any of
Mrs.
them
Benoit, can you come to the office,
is
please?
brave enough and loves you enough to save you from a life in my castle. If one of them will come, you may send her in your place. Otherwise, you must come yourself and face your punishment." Does that seem fair, that one of his daughters has to come instead of him? Is that fair? If I stole something, is it fair for my kid to have to come for me and take my punishment? If your mom or dad stole something, would it be fair for you to have to go into jail for them? For what they did?
I lied.
No, right? That's not fair. Okay.
Can I please go to the bathroom?
Not right now. You need to wait. Oh, guys, turn your voices off. The merchant gives his daughters their gifts. When the storm was over, the merchant returned home. He gave his daughters their presents: a gown for the eldest, a diamond necklace for the second, and a rose for Beauty. The older sisters were delighted, but Beauty could sense that something was wrong. "Father," she said, "why did you sigh so deeply when you gave me that beautiful rose?" "In a few days I will tell you," said the merchant. "But for now, let's just enjoy being together." Okay, so we're going to stop there today. We'll finish the rest of our story next time, but I've got some questions for you guys. What's the title of this fairy tale? What's the title of this fairy tale? Everybody, what's the title?
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. All right. And I have a question. Where is this story written? Where is this story written, Clayton?
In France.
In France, which is on what continent? What continent is France on? Landon. Europe. All right, hold on. All right. Now we need to fill out our charts, okay? All right, you guys, tell me. Do we have a royal family? Do we know yet?
Yes.
No. Yes.
Who's the royal family that we've learned about?
The prince.
Who is the royal family? We don't know. We haven't learned about any royal family yet. We didn't hear about anything yet. They didn't tell us. You guys know from the movie.
Yeah, I know.
Do we have any magical characters so far? Who, Marissa?
The beast.
The Beast, because he's an enchanted guy, right? We can tell. A beast isn't real, so the Beast. Has any magical event happened yet? Henley, what?
Flowers.
The flowers were doing what?
They can bloom without
Yeah, flowers blooming in winter. That's magical. Yeah, good job, Henley. Did it have a once upon a time beginning? Yeah, it literally said once upon a time. And have we got to the end yet? Nope. We haven't got to the end yet. So, next time we'll keep filling that out. But for now, I need you guys to tell me, how do we know that it's a fairy tale? How do we know it's a fairy tale, Lizzie?
Because it was a monster.
Yeah, a monster. He's a monster. What misfortunes happened to the merchant? What misfortunes happened to the merchant? What happened to him that was a misfortune? Renzo. What misfortune happened to the merchant? What bad thing happened to him? Yep, and what happened to his ships? Weston?
They all got stolen.
Yeah, most of his goods were stolen. What do the three daughters ask their father to do? What does each daughter ask their father to do, Layla? Yeah, so the oldest one asked for the dress, the middle one asked for a necklace, and the youngest one, she asked for just a simple rose. Why do you think Beauty's father sighed when he gave her the rose? Why do you think he sighed when he gave that to her? Nevaeh?
Because one of the daughters had to go to the castle with the beast.
Yeah, and how do you think that was probably making him feel? Sad. He was probably pretty sad. All right. Why is the beast described as fearsome? Why is he described as fearsome? What do we think? Clayton?
It's because he has horns, and he has sharp teeth, and he has claws, and he has muscles.
Yeah, so what are some other words we might use to describe him other than fearsome? What are some other words? What do we think, Marissa?
Scary.
Scary. Yeah, that's a great word. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a partner. And I'm going to ask you a couple of questions with your partner. So, Marissa and Lizzie, Connor and Nevaeh, Hadley and Landon, Renzo and Kenley, Jonah and Clayton, Alice, Weston, Layla. I just told you your partner? Okay, at the end of today's story, the beast tells the merchant to return for his punishment. Okay, so he tells him to return with either a daughter or himself. What do you think the merchant should do? Tell your partner. So talk to your partner. What do you think? Jonah, you should be talking to Clayton, not to Connor. Okay, class.
Yes.
What were some ideas? What do we think he should do? What do you guys think? What? Yeah.
The oldest sister should take care of the other sister.
So Marissa and Lizzie think the oldest sister should be the one to go because she needs to take care of them. That's a really good idea. What are some other ideas? Renzo, what do you and your partner say? So you say that he should send his daughter Beauty because she's in the picture? Did anybody think something different that he should do? Weston?
Me and Alice thought the same thing. Me and Alice thought that he should do the punishment.
Himself? So Weston and Alice said, I think he needs to be the one to do it himself. Why should he do it himself and not send someone? Alice?
Because he was the one who did it.
Yeah, he's the one who did it. All right, after hearing today's read aloud, are there any other questions that we have? Things you want to know? Jonah? Okay, you need to wait unless it's about our story.
It is.
Okay, what?
In Ninja Turtles, it says fearsome fighters.
Fearsome fighters? So yeah, he uses the word fearsome because they're scary. Okay, we're going to do one last vocabulary activity, and then we're going to take our break before Foundations. So, in the read aloud, you heard that the merchant lost his fortune and was left with nothing. Say the word fortune with me 3 times. Fortune, fortune, fortune. Fortune means great wealth or good luck. Okay? So, the merchant had good fortune when he lost his ship, or when his lost ship was found, okay? The queen's fortune included a beautiful castle and jewels. Have you ever had good fortune? Remember, it's not just things. Sometimes it's luck. Have you ever had good fortune?
Yeah.
When was the time you maybe had good fortune? What was the time you maybe had good fortune? Good wealth or good luck? Weston?
Once I had good luck because I bought Kenna some toys and I almost did not have enough money because I brought in 50 and it was $49.
Wow, so that is good luck. That was exactly 49. That's good fortune. Any other ideas about a time that you had good fortune? Maybe good luck? Layla? Oh, yeah, your cat getting better. That is good fortune. Okay. Now, what's the word we've been talking about? What's the word we've been talking about, class? I want you to tell me the word I just said. I want to tell you it 3 times. It was
Fortune, fortune, fortune!
Good. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do an antonym activity. Antonym means, okay, you need to space forward and pay attention. We're about to our break. I don't want to start giving laps. We're almost to our break. So antonym is the opposite, okay? So the words will be fortune. The opposite of fortune is misfortune. So the prefix mis makes a word have opposite meaning. So if fortune means good luck, what would misfortune mean? If fortune means good luck, what would misfortune mean, Hadley? Bad luck. So, I am going to give you a scenario. I'm going to give you an example. You're going to say that is good fortune or that is misfortune. Are you ready? So you're going to say, everybody repeat it with me. That is good fortune.
That is good fortune.
That is misfortune.
That is misfortune.
Okay. The merchant lost his ship at sea.
That is misfortune.
So you say a whole sentence. That is misfortune.
That is misfortune.
The merchant had a healthy family.
That is misfortune.
That is good fortune. We're not doing accents and we're not yelling, okay? So we would say that is good fortune. So repeat the sentence.
That is good fortune.
The merchant had a lavish home. Yep, that is good fortune. Okay, the merchant could not pay for his house.
That is bad
No, it's not called bad fortune. What's it called? Misfortune. So say the sentence. Weston, we're not doing a weird accent. So everybody say it. That is misfortune. Okay, the merchant had more money than he needed.
That is good fortune.
All right, last thing you're doing. On this worksheet, I want you to tell me who are the characters that you see in this picture and what is the setting? Where are they? What's going on? So who are the characters and what is the setting? Nevaeh, who are the characters? Beauty and the Beast. What is the setting in this picture? Jonah?
Castle.
They're in the castle. Where at in the castle?
The dining room.
In the dining hall in the castle. There you go. Go ahead and fill that out. And that is our last thing in reading today.